Hello. I want to talk about a problem that occurred to me the last 2 days that I've been trying to figure out what was going on. What you see right behind me here is an FT5. This FT5 has been modified with E3D V6, Bowden system, Titan Extruder, and Duet 3D Wi-Fi electronics. I use this printer not a lot because I tend to use my Delta most of the time, but I do use it on occasion, but it's been sitting for a few days. Well, I've designed a boat that I'm going to build full scale, not out of plastic, out of wood, but I'm doing a 3D print of the design to take a look at it and see what it looks like before I try to build the full scale boat. Well, I started printing the parts and the printer was doing some very, very odd things. I was getting over extrusion in certain areas while under extrusion in other areas, and I was really struggling trying to figure out why. And it turns out it was actually a very simple problem. When I built this printer originally, I built it using an E3D Volcano hot end with a 0.8 millimeter nozzle. When I rebuilt the printer into the configuration that it is now, I replaced that with a standard E3D V6 and a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. Now, I've been printing with a printer after I've made this change without any issue. But because I had shifted off and was working with some of the other printers, when I came back, I picked the wrong profile in my slicer. And the profile I had was for a 0.8 millimeter nozzle. And I'm printing with a 0.4. It looks very, very strange. If I can put a picture in, I will. But this looked very odd. I was getting places where the material wasn't touching and places where there was way too much, especially anywhere where I had a retraction. And what's effectively was happening is because I was running with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, but I was programmed for a 0.8 millimeter nozzle, the printer was putting way too much plastic through that 0.4 millimeter nozzle, but my stepovers were too wide for even that to completely fill in. But every time I'd go to do a retraction, there was so much back pressure that I couldn't get enough retraction to stop it from having the issues that it was having. So if you run into something odd, you might want to make sure that you've got your slicers set up for the diameter nozzle. It really makes quite a difference. Actually, the prints worked. They just don't look the way they normally would. Like I say, if I can get a picture in here, I'll show you some pictures at the end of this. But I just wanted you to hear from me so that you don't have to make this same mistake. Check the diameter of your nozzle and your slicer. Make sure it matches the diameter of the nozzle in your printer. Guys, have a good day and enjoy your 3D printing.